So I have a little problem that I have noticed over the past couple nights, because I've had 4 straight nights of fantastic weather now that this guy just arrived. Yeah. Clearly the gear curse is not something that affects me. But anyways, there is actually some dirt inside of my camera, and I believe it's a gasket or something that is broken down. Some pieces have fallen off of it, and they're on my sensor, and they're not going to be cleared up by flats, I'll tell you that, because they are pitch black, because they are right on the pixels. I gotta take it apart and clean it tonight. And they move around too. Like as I do a meridian flip, they'll disappear, and then I do another meridian flip and they come back. These jeweler's glasses, I think, are kind of an essential thing for this kind of task, because a lot of the dust specks that are going to show up in your images are invisible to the human eye, and you need some magnification. Of course, I've got some compressed air here, microfiber cloth, and some Q-tips. All right, let's get a little closer. Now, I'm going to give you a rule here, which I see everybody else breaking on YouTube. When they hold a naked sensor, okay, they tip them up, okay? So the glass is facing up. Don't do that, okay? Because anytime, you should, as much as possible, keep this pointed down, or at least keep it parallel. Because when you point it up, it's instantly going to start collecting dust, which should be not your objective, okay? So, now I've actually got 2 missions that I'm going to try to accomplish here. There is a small speck on the window, which I've known about for a while. It's not too major, so I haven't done anything about it. But I am going to get rid of it tonight, because it's a nice night out, and I want to get some images that I don't have to do any cloning on. I'm going to turn so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And it's gone. There we go. Yep. And you can only see that speck under magnification, which is why I think that magnification is kind of critical when you're doing this kind of stuff. You know, and here's another, let me give you some advice about flats, okay? Flats are not something you take to fix your dust spots. Okay, yeah, if you have some dust spots show up during an imaging session, go ahead and take some flats to compensate for it in the past. But in the future, you shouldn't be depending upon those flats to get rid of your dust motes. You need to take your gear apart and actually clean it, and keep it cleaned. That's how you handle dust motes, not with flats, right? Flats are really only supposed to take care of hyperactive pixels or lazy pixels, and also vignetting, and that's really the big one, is vignetting, because virtually all scopes have vignetting, and a big sensor like this, you know, especially, you need to be worried about vignetting. All right, there is all of them. We're going to take this guy, and I'm going to set him right there. Notice I'm setting him up parallel so that there's no dirt going to get on him. Where are those specks? I'm going to sin a little bit and hold this up. I need more magnification. Yeah, they've disappeared. Yeah, this has been the problem with these dust specks, because I've actually had this camera apart 3 times now trying to get these. Maybe in the back here. Oh, I see a new one. Not sure if that's on the outside. That's on the outside. Yeah, there's this box here. It's supposed to be like a light trap to prevent any scattered light and so forth, and it's rubber. And I think there's pieces coming off of it and are getting on the sensor. If this problem persists, I might just remove that altogether. Alright, time to put it back together because I don't see anything. As a side effect of the chemo that I'm on, I've got really bad neuropathy right now, which is where you basically lose the feeling in your fingers. So handling these screws and small parts is actually very challenging right now, because I can't really feel exactly what it is I'm doing. And now, when I took this thing apart, something that I really noticed and highly complimentary thing is that all the screws were torqued exactly the same. So I think ZWO, either the technician who's putting these together has a really good feel, or they are actually using a torque wrench to torque these screws down, which is a good thing. Because, like, I have a really good feel, but that's because I'm a machinist. The average person, I would not expect to put screws in, you know, at the same tension level like that. You know, the way I'm doing it is I'm putting them in there until they bottom out, and based on the flex in the neck of this, I can kind of tell that I'm torquing them all down the same amount. Alright, after this, we're going to put this guy back together and go back out and have some more fun with it. I apologize if my head's getting cut off here. Let's take one look at that window just to make sure, and I actually do see a few new specks. It's amazing how fast they settle onto stuff. I think any of you who have ever had to work in a clean room, as they're called, where everything's super clean and everybody wears white suits and so forth to go in, you kind of are probably chuckling to yourselves. It's like, yeah, we've been through that. All right, let's get this thing back out under the stars.